Okay, we have to report another case now of mob lynching. This time it's taken place in Rajasthan. Another shocking case where a man was lynched by alleged Gaur Rakshaks in Alwar's Ramgarh area, suspecting him to be a cow smuggler. This is the second lynching case from Alwar, the first one being Pehlu Khan, who was killed in April of 2017. So just over a year after this lynching case, we're seeing another one take place in the streets of Alwar. This is, again, just a day after, remember, the Home Minister, the Prime Minister, put out an appeal to states to take action. We're seeing now another unfortunate case of mob lynching taking place. Let's go across now to Arvind joining us on the phone line. Arvind, these spate of incidents don't seem to end. These lynch mobs don't seem to be getting the message, whether it's sent from the Supreme Court, the Prime Minister or the Home Minister of the country.
Yes, Viren, that's right. And this is more shocking because here cow vigilante are involved in this murder which took place in Ramgarh area in Alwar district of Rajasthan last night. What has happened here is that Akbar Khan, the 22-year-old youth, was resident of Kalagaon in Haryana, and he was taking two bovine with him when cow vigilante gheraoed him. Then they beat him up and he died on the spot. His body has now been shifted to the local CHC where postmortem would be done. Heavy police bandobast has been deployed in the area. But this is second shocking case of mob lynching or lynching by cow vigilante in Alwar district of Rajasthan. Remember, in April 2017, of Pehlu Khan had made international headlines and brought a bad name to Rajasthan and India. But again, this has happened here that cow vigilante are having field day while police is sitting on its laurel in the Alwar district of Rajasthan. Though the cow smuggling is illegal under the law in Rajasthan, there is an act called Cow Protection Act 1986 which outlaw cow smuggling. But it is to stop the cow smuggling, it is the work of the police and not the cow vigilante. And this is the second huge case coming from Alwar district of Rajasthan where cow vigilante has beaten a man to death because they suspect him to smuggle the cow. So now it is up to the police investigation that what comes out of that, whether Akbar Khan was a cow smuggler or he was just another farmer who was tendering cows there for milk supply. But this is again put a huge question mark over law and order situation in Rajasthan where cow vigilantes are having a field day while police is not being able to do anything about it.
Right, certainly. And, the message, Arvind, that has to go from the government because the Home Minister, the Prime Minister put the onus on the states. The Supreme Court as well made it very clear that law and order is a state subject and states need to do more to tackle these sorts of lynch mobs. But it's clearly not really translating too much on the ground in Rajasthan if these people think that they can go and lynch a man just on the mere suspicion.
Look, Viren, the law and order is a state subject and whatever center says, but it is the responsibility of the state government to provide law and order. And we have seen that in the case of Pehlu Khan, we have seen in case of Pahadu Khan, we have seen the case of Zafar Khan, that in last 3-4 years, the confidence of these right-wing elements has gone so high that they are not desisting from taking law of the land in their own hand, and particularly in case of cow vigilante who are working as an organized group on the borders of Rajasthan which connects to Haryana and western UP there in Alwar district of Rajasthan and Bharatpur district where even police had the cow protection pickets where they put a picket in the
Arvind, stay with us. I've got Mr. A.L. Banerjee, he's a former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, joining us on the phone line. Mr. Banerjee, thanks so much for speaking to us. We wish it was in better circumstances, but unfortunately, we're having to report another case of a mob that's gone completely berserk. These are supposed cow vigilantes who've gone and killed another man, this time in Alwar. A near repeat, it seems, unfortunately, of what we saw with Pehlu Khan just over a year ago.
This is absolute... Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
Mr. Banerjee.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Loud and clear.
Yes. You see, this is absolutely... You just cannot condone this. There is absolutely nothing which can protect anybody. These people have to be taken to task as far as cow lynching is concerned. How come a human life is less important than a cow. It is beyond imagination. It seems after Pehlu Khan's incident, the Alwar police or the local police has just not woken up, and they have not disseminated sufficient information, or they have not done sufficiently to ward off these kinds of things. What is the administration doing? Have they not been educating people? Have they not been telling things what should be done? I think it is high time that the local man on the spot should be dismissed for this kind of a incident taking place in his area. Until and unless you take such drastic steps, this is not going to go down. And secondly, the state government has to sit down and decide that in future, no further crimes of this kind should take place. They should undertake all measures, including education, policing, information, whatever they feel like, whatever is essential. But this has to stop. This has to stop.
Mr. Banerjee, in your opinion, is it fair to say that the states aren't, in this case Rajasthan, not taking this matter seriously enough? Because if these vigilante groups are allowed to carry on their activities, we're unfortunately going to see situations like this where a man, sometimes innocent, or whether even if he's not innocent, why should that person lose their life?
Maybe the local administration should wake up. The police should have waken up after Pehlu Khan. You can identify who these people are, who these vigilantes are, and what are they doing. What are they thinking? It is not suddenly that people gather together and do this kind of a thing. Until and unless they are organized, they are put together, they are indoctrinated. What is happening? If we can't stop this kind of a thing, this is going to spread. And this is going to create chaos. You have to be able to stop it. It is the job of the administration, the police, and the local people.
Mr. A.L. Banerjee, thank you so much for speaking to us. Once again, another man losing his life again in Alwar. This is literally a little over a year after Pehlu Khan was lynched on a similar suspicion by alleged car vigilantes. It seems the same has happened today. This, in fact, rather took place yesterday. It's, in fact, just broken today, and that's what we have, unfortunately, despite the fact that this was a week where the Supreme Court passed a judgment that called for states to crack down on these sorts of mobs and these sorts of lynchings. We're seeing another life lost in Rajasthan.